Hello there, I'm Aldrahill and I am a Napoleon stan. No, not that short-ass one, I mean the true Napoleon, Louis Napoleon III. However, I don't think France really appreciates him. Instead of getting couped in the 1870s and forced to live out the rest of his life in Chislehurst, Kent, true story, I think he deserves to go somewhere he's appreciated. The great states of America. That's right, in this video, Napoleon III is going to America and taking over everything. If you like this sort of strange concept video, like is always appreciated, and subscribing is the best way to see how many other videos I can shoehorn Napoleon III into. Right, so the basic idea here is that Napoleon III is an agitator in the new Voice of the People's DLC, and he wants to promote autocracy and become a badass. France kicks him out by default in the event he appears in, and he should come back later, but there's nothing stopping America from inviting him instead. Once Napoleon does join the US though, we need to work out how to get him in charge, but we'll come back to that later on. Here's the plan. We're going to play a strong USA game, but we're going to be focusing entirely on promoting the strength of the petty bourgeoisie faction until we get Napoleon. The USA is a really great country to do this with because they already start with elected bureaucrats, which promotes the strength of the petite boys faction, and there's just a lot that they can build. So to get the petty beef bourguignon faction strong, we want to focus on shopkeepers and clerks. These are the guys who join the party. This means building logging camps using simple tools. This means government administrations. This means trade centers, but also urban centers. So we need to keep services nice and expensive, but we also need to weaken the landowners and the rural folk. So we just have to get rid of the dreaded homesteading and the big bad S-word law. Also, if we can get to mercantilism, because that hires loads more shopkeepers, that'd be really good too, but we'll see. So day one, I'm going to move all my logging camps to simple forestry, swapping them to merchant guild, giving me loads of shopkeepers. We're going to get the nationalism tech, so we can take Mexico later. And eventually, we'll get the mutual funds tech to get commercialized farming, which means industrialists, not rural folk. We're also going to move our wheat farms to vineyards. We're going to get ceramics. If it gives us shopkeepers, we're going to do it. Ooh, a nice trade agreement with England. Don't mind if I do. I'll spend the extra money on bankrolling Texas. Ooh, look at that. They actually capture Santa Ana. We're going to get Texas so easily. It's like history. First law we're going to get is dedicated police force because I want to weaken the landowners for things later on. And look at this. This is possibly the best event in the game for me right now. Just trying to pass the reform. It's the pissy Bon faction getting rewards, like, out of nowhere. Thank you. Alongside building loads of iron mines for construction, because I'm just trying to get tons of GDP, we also want to make sure we up government wages, because this will mean that people who join the Peppy Bacon faction will be richer. Also, we're going to try and pass censorship, because I do want to try to control what my people say. Hey, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte was not exactly the most liberal of guys. Okay, it is now 1840. We've been building stuff and just playing pretty standardly. From this point, Napoleon can appear. He'll appear anywhere from 1840 to 1870, but it's up to the French AI. Oh god. In the meantime, we're going to make our country even more appealing by moving our capital to New York, because literally no one wants to move to DC. It's like a swamp. Also, like I said, it's a standard US game, so we're going to get Manifest Destiny because I want to take a lot of stuff off of Mexico to fund my economy. Going to remember to also actually add all of America that I want to take from Mexico as a primary goal because Mexico sometimes just gives up and I really don't want to just have Texas. Look at this great event. I get to just remove the leader of the landowners and replace him entirely. Now I got this absolutely random guy who's just a moderate, which is actually really good for us. And right in the middle of the war, I've just been checking constantly because I don't know when Napoleon's going to be kicked out. I just have to check the agitator menu, but there he is. Ambitious, experienced, and a demagogue, or whatever. And what a beard. He joins the petty bourgeoisie, but honestly, his snazzy jacket is just too good. I'm afraid he must become a commander. I think he needs to lead America to greatness. Gonna make him a field marshal, give him all the soldiers, and he will overcome all of Mexico, all on his own. But it isn't just enough for him to be an army commander. No. Something amazing happens while he's on the front lines. His faction back home understand just how great he is, and they make him their leader. Bam, look at that. Look at that jacket. With Napoleon as the leader of the petty bourgeoisie, he will gradually encourage more people to come over simply because of his wonderful mustache. And since no one can beat the amazing Bonaparte, we destroy Mexico and take back all of our manifest destiny. A few more years and the PB faction with Napoleon, I'm just going to say Napoleon faction, are now actually really strong. They've got like 20% clout. Look at that. Also, while I've been so busy with Napoleon, there's like a massive world war between England, Portugal, and Belgium against Russia. They're trying to take like Malta, puppet Portugal, and take Australia. I don't know what's going on. We're just going to ignore that. Right, we also have an election coming up. I actually, unfortunately, am having one significant problem. They just won't elect him. Every time the election is happening, it goes to the stupid Southern Plant guy. But they are literally weaker than the Pissy Bonbon faction. There's no reason for this. I just can't figure it out. Okay, I've done some testing. Thankfully, you can reload in Iron Man regardless. It turns out it's because presidential elections don't actually elect the leader of the interest group with the most clout, but the leader of the party that gains the most votes. And because the Southern Planters are technically in charge of the party, they keep winning. The solution is so simple. I literally just reform the government. I just pop in another group, and it makes the game check again to see who should be in charge, and boom, Bonaparte is now the leader. And then the election happens, and boom, President Louis Napoleon Bonaparte of America. Like, that was so easy. I thought it was going to be so much harder. Of course, now that he's here, it's time to ruin everything. First of all, Napoleon wants to make the country a little bit better and wants to get rid of the S word, but the landowners are still too strong and a little bit pissy, so they won't do it. But they do support commercialized agriculture instead of homesteading. So we just need to get the mutual funds tech, and then we can pass that, get them on side, and then maybe they won't be so pissed off about getting rid of that evil law. We're also going to get secret police because, you know, I think we need to maybe ensure that people do what Napoleon says. And since we have so much spare bureaucracy, let's just level this up like crazy because it massively reduces radicalism. So vital. All right, so we've got it. We've got the tech. We can try and repeal homesteading and get commercialized agriculture. The rural folk are still so upset that they do try to revolt, but the new revolt mechanics in the latest patch mean that they need to have a certain amount of radicalism to be able to actually revolt. And look, 99. As long as I keep that below 100 before the law passes all the way, we're gravy. We can even work on trying to improve everyone's quality of life with like nitroglycerin, because everyone knows how good that is for everything. But it makes things easier and cheaper, and everyone will be happy and calm down a little bit. Okay, never mind. Apparently not. They've tried to literally assassinate Napoleon Bonaparte. How dare they? Okay, I know I should be focusing on this revolution and, you know, trying to do all the things I'm trying to do, but it looks like Nova Scotia's trying to get independence, and they've asked me to join against Britain in return for transferring Lower Canada, which is like Quebec. How can I say no? Oh, the British has just sent like no troops here. We're just going to rampage over them. We're going to hire more generals. Oh my god. Ulysses Grant, and he's a member of the Napoleon faction. Yes, let's go. I don't know if it's the war distracting everybody, but we managed to do it. We passed commercialized agriculture. This is going to buff the industrialists, make more money appear, but also weaken the rural folk. Let's see if we can maybe get rid of that mean old law now. Right, we're going to try and pass it. It's only 1850. That's pretty good. All right, just like with the rural folk, the landowners are trying to do a teensy revolution, but look, they don't have enough support. They don't have enough radicalism. They're just being a little upset. They're actually not going to revolt as long as we don't screw anything up, so we should be able to do this. I'm clearly getting distracted. It looks like Nova Scotia has actually just been full annexed and wrecked. I didn't help them enough, but it doesn't matter because I'm still in the war, and I think I'm going to get to take Quebec for free. This is good. Okay, maybe not if Zachary Taylor, my best offensive general ever, is going to just go off to Russia to, like, study slavery. No, you stay here and fight the British. That's your calling in life. All right, there it is. Britain barely put up a fight. We just gained Quebec. That is pretty cool. That was so easy. Slavery ban. Who knew you just had to bring in a mustachioed Frenchman and you could just get rid of this law? You don't need John Brown, no Lincoln. You just need the good old Bonapartes. We're just doing such a good job. Such a good job, in fact, that why would you want to elect anybody else? Why even elect anyone to begin with? Let's just have Napoleon Bonaparte forever. Okay, for some reason, the only ones who really care are the landowners, which is kind of weird because, like, they'll gain power if I go back to monarchy. But okay, again, they're too weak to put up a fight, so I don't care. Look, we're so good that all of the people who live in Quebec are moving to America. Because why would you want to be there when you could be here? Come on, we even have a Frenchman as our, well, president. He'll be something else soon. No, Susan B. Anthony, go away. I like women's rights. I promise you'll get them if you just wait a little bit. I'll get to you soon. Oh, I literally wasn't even looking at my screen. But look. That was so easy. Also, the petty bourgeoisie are wasting no time at all. They want to pass autocracy, and they demand it. But we'll get to that later, because look at who we are. No longer the United States of America, no. We are the United Sovereign Archduchy, led by none other than Emperor Louis Napoleon Bonaparte. I really did not expect I would be able to do this so quickly. I thought this would be like 1910s or something, but no, this was so easy. Who knew you could just move to America, say hi, join the army, and then get elected president? Not to mention repealing the presidential republic, passing autocracy, and also instituting a secret police. But, you know, don't worry about it. I really don't like that flag. What does it even mean? Please tell me in the comments what it means. I have no idea. All right. We are amazing, we're powerful, but we're not quite strong enough yet. Here's a little known fact. Did you know that France actually puppeted Mexico in our timeline? Yep, the Second French-Mexican War. They installed a Habsburg as the king of Mexico for some weird reason. I think Napoleon gets this tingling feeling, this pricking of his thumbs, that tells him from another reality he needs to do the same thing. Let's puppet Mexico. Okay, slight hitch in the plan. Russia and Spain have both decided they don't like that and are trying to stop me. But their military kind of sucks, so maybe I can just beat them up. Though I do really need some wood. Well, instead of relying on trade, we can just move our logging camps back to the proper tech, which does reduce the shopkeepers, which makes the Peppy Bourbon faction a bit weaker, but we don't care now. We're a monarchy. No one's gonna get rid of Napoleon now. They are so weak. Look, Santa Anna is actually leading the Mexican army, and he's so old. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not even sure he knows where he is. Literally just crushing, running straight through, puppeting Mexico, getting war reps, knocking out the Russians. Get out of here. Look at those borders. Oh, wait. I should still at war with Costa Rica. I don't care. Just go away. Don't ruin the moment. There it is. That disgusting blue. Now I think we need to cement our rulership and pass autocracy. There will be a small revolution of the entire country, led by the intelligentsia, but they're not radical enough because of the intense secret police we've passed. Literally no problems. Napoleon's true form. An autocratic monarchy. We are going to try to go back to appointed bureaucrats there rather than hereditary, just to try and weaken the landowners. But, you know, other than that, there we are. We're amazing. Now, to really become the America we know we can be, get ironclads and start expanding our navy, our army. You heard of gunboat diplomacy? Well, here you are. Okay, this might be the most cursed event possible for this run. He who would be king. Look, it's Emperor Norton. How dare he try to pretend he's the emperor? There's only one emperor here. How dare he? Though actually, he does have a cool beard, and he's also a royalist. Ah, you can stay. Maybe he can be like a little backup heir for our true heir, Prince Louis Bonaparte, with his very strange little face. The only other thing I wanted to do was to pass free trade, because that just felt kind of American. And I did it. Everyone loved me for it. It was great. Everyone seems to just do whatever Louis Napoleon Bonaparte says. It's brilliant. That was honestly all of my goals for this video, and I've done it so early and with loads of time to spare. We're only number 3 great power, but it will take quite a long time to catch up because I probably wasn't focusing as much as I could have been on just growing GDP, but that's fine. It's easily doable. Let me know if you'd like to see that in another video. Tell you what, if this video gets to 500 likes, we will puppet France no matter how much work it takes. Thank you so very much for watching. This has actually been a huge blast. I really do recommend it. Bonaparte is surprisingly strong, and you can honestly put him in charge of a lot of different countries. Come back and let me know down below if you do manage to actually put him somewhere else. I think that'd be really cool to see. I was Aldrahill and I'll continue to be. This has been possibly the strangest Victoria 3 video I've ever made. And for more like it, you should definitely subscribe. We have made Napoleon Bonaparte great again. Bye bye.